Welcome to the Backgammon Christmas calendar. 24 points of Christmas. The 4 Point by Grandmaster Mark Olsen.
Merry Christmas, Backgammon fans. Today is the 4th of December and we're gonna talk about the 4 Point. So the 4 Point is over here, right? That's your 4 Point. The 4 Point is a special point actually because for a long time people talked about the 5 Point and they talked about the bar point as if they were the two most important points on the board. Actually, the 4 Point is even better than the bar point. So McGrill used to call the 5 Point the golden point, and I like to call the 4 Point the silver point because it's the second best point on the board. What makes the 4 Point so good? Well, the 4 Point, if you have the 4 Point made, let's say you roll a 4-2 opening, you make the 4 Point, of course. So what's good about this point? Well, first off, it's a great priming point, right? Because it's blocking your opponent's back checkers. Even if he steps up, it's still blocking. It's a pure point because you only have a gap on the 5 Point and you have a gap on the 7 Point. It's not too bad. That you can fill out 2 gaps. So it's rather pure. It's not as pure as the 5 Point, but it's still quite pure. Hey guys, remember to download and play on the Backgammon Galaxy app. It's also very good in a blitz attack because it's an inner board point. So let's say, for instance, I were to split with a 5-2 here. And now you roll a double 5. Whoa! You can go for a super blitz, put 2 men on the bar, and have a 4 Point board, right? The 4 Point really improves your position here. It works in a blitz attack as well because it's an inner board point. Okay, let's go back. What else is the 4 Point good for? Well, in all the scenarios where you get ahead in the race and you try to get freedom with the back checkers, maybe you succeed in getting freedom with the back checkers, and I might play some sort of holding game. In all of these scenarios, the 4 Point is an important landing space for all the remaining checkers behind it. If you didn't have the 4 Point, let's say you had the deuce point instead, you would have an extra gap there. It's going to be more difficult to bring your checkers home. So it's just such a nice thing to do early in the game to make the 4 Point, and it's going to work out regardless of the game plan that might unfold later in the game. It's going to be an asset. When we rank opening game rolls, 3-1 is the best because you make the 5 Point, that's the golden point. 4-2 is the second best because you make the silver point, right? 4-2 is the second best opening roll. And then we get to 6-1. 6-1 is the third best. And then we get 5-3, 6-5. All those other rolls are quite a bit worse than the top 3 rolls. So the 4 Point is the silver point. It's better than the bar point. It's better than the 3 Point. But it falls short to the 5 Point. Nevertheless, it's the second most important point on the board. Merry Christmas, guys. This was the 4th of December. We talked about the 4 Point. I hope you have a good evening and I see you tomorrow.
Merry Christmas, Backgammon fans!